Hello, hello, Lachelle Barnett here, jumping on to do our regular scheduled videos. These come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this is clearly Tuesday or Thursday. So today we are jumping on to talk about digital marketing. One of the biggest topics that people tend to struggle with is marketing. And so for the last several videos, I want to say the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been talking about nothing but marketing. Okay. So I hope you guys go back and catch some of those videos because they are kind of prerequisites to what we're going to talk about today. Because today we're talking about funnels, which is one of my favorites just because I'm a systems person. I love systems and strategy and structure. And one of the things that I find with coaches is they're not really doing digital marketing. They're getting referrals. And they're leveraging social media, but they're not necessarily doing digital marketing. So, because it's a topic that people tend to ask about, I figured I would do a quick video on it. So, first things first, for those people who are not aware of what a funnel is, so let's start by just underlining this, okay? A funnel is basically automation, right? When you hear the word funnels, I want you to think of automation because essentially it's automating whatever it is that you want it to do. They can be as simple or as complex as you want them to be. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I'm going to give you some of the three that are most common that will help you with your specific marketing. But just know that funnels are about automation. When you go to someone's website and you click on, hey, I'm going to download this free ebook that they're offering, and then it takes you to a thank you page, it delivers the email. All of that is automation, and that's called a funnel, right? So that's number one. I want you guys to have a clear picture of what we're talking about today for those of you who are super, super new. Second, the thing that I want you to understand why we even use funnels in the first place, okay? I just want to keep circling this because I see a lot of people who are not using funnels, mainly because they're overwhelmed, right? This can be complex if you let it. But here's what I want you to understand. Anytime that you don't have a system in place in your business, you're working too hard, right? The same is true for your marketing. There are certain systems that are just key to your business. And if there's ever a place where you want to put some systems in place, it's your marketing. Why? Because marketing has a lot of steps, right? You have to be able to capture the lead. And I'm just going to write this. Um, you have to be able to, I'm going to put it here, capture the lead, right? So where is your lead going to come from? Is it going to be through a Facebook ad? Is it going to be through organic marketing? Is it going to be through affiliate marketing? Is it going to be through influencer marketing? All of those leads that you capture have to go somewhere and you have to do something with them. If you're promising them something free, then you have to give them that, and that comes through a funnel, right? So the first one is being able to lead generate. Right? So I'm put a G there for lead generation. That's where you're capturing the lead. Then it's lead nurture. This is where you're actually delivering the thing that you're promising them, whether it's as simple as a free download, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a challenge, like a million things that you could be doing to nurture them. Could just be email sequence, but this is how you get the know, like, and trust factor, and people begin to see you as the go-to person in your niche, right? And then the last one is about conversion. Right? So how the heck am I going to convert them? You can do all of that within a funnel. So I'm going to give you three. Again, there are tons. Okay. And I'm just going to keep it simple. And the reason why I'm doing this is because most of you are going to want to hire out for this just because of how complicated, not complicated, but how complex it can be. And mostly because people just don't like tech, right? So if you're going to hire out, you need to know what it is that you need prior to hiring someone, right? So here's number one. I'm going to call this a lead generation funnel. The truth is they're all lead generation funnels, okay? But the reason why I'm calling this one a lead generation funnel is because it's typically, I'm going to put like a PDF here or something that is downloadable, okay? And so there's typically simple steps. You know, you have one page, maybe where you're going to opt in and put your email and your phone number or your name or whatever you're wanting on that page. And then the second page is like the thank you page, and it says, hey, thanks for opting in for whatever, go check your email, right? That's a very simple funnel. Now, it has more to it than this, but I want you to understand the basic concept, right? opt-in page, thank you page. Okay, so that's a simple download if you were going to give somebody an ebook, a video series, anything, that's simply download this, right? So the second one I like to call is a launch funnel. Okay, the difference is, number one, it's more complicated, but you're doing all three of these, generating, nurturing, and converting, all at the same time. And you're doing it with something free, typically. Now, it doesn't always have to be free, but for most of the coaches that are going to be watching this video, it's going to be free. And so you're going to have your opt-in page. You're going to have your thank you page. You are going to have tons of emails, and I'm going to put this and this here so I don't get confused. You might have, and this goes for all of these, this is optional, but you might have what we call a pop-up box or a light box, which is basically when you go to someone's website and a box pops up right before you leave, or it pops up when you hit a button. That's called a pop-up box. Again, called lots of different things, but for the sake of this video, to keep it simple, it's called a pop-up box, right? So the difference with this launch funnel is that, let's say this is going to be either a telesummit, okay? Those virtual telesummits where you see a bunch of speakers, it's going to be a challenge, or it might be a webinar, okay? So the only difference between the two is what it is that you're giving away, right? You're either giving away information on a webinar, giving away information on a challenge, or giving away information on a telesummit. And when you do it through a launch funnel, there are just tons more steps. You're still gonna, and I'll come back to that in just a second, okay? So then the last one I'm gonna show you is what we're gonna call a sales funnel. Now, I just want to remind you that technically they could all be sales funnel if you sell something, right? But typically with this funnel, the first funnel that we're listing, you're not selling anything immediately, right? You're just getting them to opt in for something. The second one, you are selling something, but it's not till the end of the challenge or the webinar or the telesummit or whatever it is that you're doing, okay? The sales funnel is typically when you're doing something low end. Can you have a sales funnel for something higher? Yes, you can. Okay. But typically, if you're doing a higher end offer, then you're going to use one of these methods in number 2 here. Okay. So you might have your page that has your offer. Maybe it's could be free, or it could be, you know, something low ticket. But the difference is your next page is absolutely going to have an offer on it. Could be $7, could be $47, could be $12. But the point is that these are typically lower ticket items, and you're sending them more to a warm audience. That's the other difference. And so you could do this as many times as you want. Some people end it there, and then this is the thank you page, right? Or you could have an upsell, a downsell. And what I mean by that is they opt in for this free thing, okay? And then on the next page, it says, hey, buy this book for $7. And they say yes. And if they say yes, then they come down here to what is an upsell. The upsell is now $17. And then they say, no, I don't want the $17. And then you downsell them to something lower than that. Now, again, all of this optional, okay? You could do this 7 times. People literally build out funnels where they upsell and downsell you multiple times. So you could do it just straight once, you could do it twice, it's all about your specific strategy. What are you trying to, what are your goals related to your specific funnel, okay? So these are the 3 things, these are 3 basic type of funnels that really every single coach needs to have. Right? And I put these boxes over here because there are things that go with all of these, no matter what kind of funnel. So it's things like tags, right? So every time you want to know whether somebody opted in for your challenge or whether you opted in for your webinar or they opted in for your free ebook. You want to know that, and the way you keep track is through tags, right? The other thing is just campaigns. Again, campaigns are what pull it all together. It's like, if they do this, then this. If they say, let's just use this one as an example. Okay, if they buy the $7 thing, then take them to this page. But if they don't buy the $7 thing, then take them to this page. All of that happens through a campaign. Okay, Similar is conditions. If a person answers a question on your application, for example, let's just say you have an application for your program and you want qualified people, you can set up conditions that if they answer this way, then do this, right? The campaign, what makes it different from the campaign from the condition is the campaign automates everything, not just the questions, right? So conditions are primarily for if they answer a question a specific way. I know that does not look like a question mark. Y'all know what it is. But this can be anywhere, and I should not have put that question here because that's not what it's for. But for a campaign, I'm gonna put an A here because this is a condition down here. This automates everything. So if they, let's just say they go in to buy a product and their card is declined, right? The campaign is what would automate a specific email that would go out to say, hey, your card declined. You know, here's a link to try again or something. The condition is similar to that, but it's not quite the same, okay? And then the last one basically are just emails. All of these have email sequences. We could keep going. Many of them are going to have integrations. There are lots of other things that are universal to every single funnel, but the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you to know which funnel do you need today. How can I stop working so hard and automate some of my processes and develop some systems in my business, right? And here's the beauty. Once you set these, you don't have to keep doing them from scratch. I won't lie, they're a lot of work, depending on how far along you are in your business and how big your funnel is. They can potentially be a lot of work. But once you do it once, guess what? You now have a system in place. So I want to show you that because I want you to do better with your marketing, right? Sometimes we're talking about, well, no one's buying from me. Well, what are you doing to gain this? Are you nurturing them? Well, probably not, because you don't have it automated. So that means you're being inconsistent because you're literally doing a million different jobs, right? So think about funnels or automation as hiring another person, right? Except for this is way cheaper than hiring an employee, right? So hopefully this is helpful to you. If you guys have questions, let me know. Peace.